Hey guys, DMS3TV here. Today it looks like I'm in another change of scenery. I felt like shooting in more natural light, so let's see how this works. Hopefully this room isn't too much of an undampened reverb chamber. I'll find out when I'm editing this. Anyway, today I have with me the Monolith M300. Open back Planar in-ear headphones for monoprice. Right off the bat, I want to get one thing out of the way. It seems like more than coincidence how similar these are to the iSine, but I'm not going to let that stop me from having an opinion on these. So let's talk about build first. The housing is made out of plastic, and while that could be an issue for some, it doesn't seem to be particularly poorly built in any way, as far as the housing is concerned at least. The cable, I'm pretty sure, is recycled from the first generation of the Monolith M1060. This is an MMCX connector with a right angle 3.5. And if it's not recycled from the first generation M1060, it is very similar. This particular pair came with 4 sets of tips, several different pieces that clip around the backside or inner part of your ear right here, and a carrying case. Now, the carrying case, oddly enough, was a little bit too small for the headphones. Even if I took the tips off of it, I could not fit them in the carrying case and close it all the way, which seemed to be a little bit of a downside. I could still get it mostly closed, it just kind of felt like I was compressing the case a little bit. The tips that came with it, one pair is foam, and the rest were all silicone. I didn't really have too much of an issue with those. The foam ones did seem a little bit fragile, so these are probably going to degrade over time. And I did have an issue with one set of clips, the black ones that are like this, did break on me when I first attached them, but I haven't had issues with any of the other sets of clips. Now, with those things aside, these are so incredibly magnetic, I feel like I could mess up a small television with them, like those old school TVs or a CRT monitor or something like that. Stick them to your microwave, stick them to your keys, whatever. I can actually take these and stick them on the metal bezel of my computer monitor and they just stay there. Not a bad thing, though it might wear down the logo on the plastic over time, that's just a guess. Really, those are my only complaints about build. And comfort for these was about where I sat with the iSine. Having clips on the backside of my ears is generally uncomfortable for me, though it is necessary for something of this size. And after a while, I was able to look past it, so that's not a huge deal to me. I've still been using these quite a lot since they came in. And that's one thing I will say now, moving into sound, that pretty much since these arrived, I have been using them almost non-stop every day, almost all day. The reason being that sound signature-wise, these are extraordinarily close to the iSine, but these have a little bit more treble. My biggest issue I had with the iSine was that the treble just disappeared into oblivion. And of course the iSine is more detailed. Not too significantly, but the iSine is also more expensive and slightly better built. Now, what I will say is that I prefer the sound signature of these over the iSine. If I had to choose between slightly more detail and a more comfortable sound signature, I'm going to choose this sound signature. Pretty much everything through the mids and the lows is almost identical. It's mostly just that difference in the highs. And it's not necessarily more treble to the point where it's sibilant or painful, but having that extra little bit of presence is nice. Now, don't get me wrong, these are still dark, but it's not treble lost into oblivion dark. It's, LCD2 dark. And this makes for what seems to be trending with Monolith headphones right now, a very laid-back sound compared to, say, like the M565. These are very, very laid back. Vocal presence is a little bit farther out, and imaging, while I would say has been better in some other IEMs, the soundstage in these makes up for it. Though my favorite thing is being able to put these on and go through my almost entire day without having to take them off, because I can hear my surroundings just fine. Because, like I said, these are open back planars. I can wear these to the grocery store, I can wear them all around my house, I can wear them when I'm working on a project, someone comes in to talk to me, I can talk to them without having to take these off and then go right back to working on my project. The only reason I've ever had to take them off is because the clips on the back of my ears might eventually get irritating, though I'm working on possibly a solution for that. There's some aftermarket solutions for ear clips, I just haven't had a chance to look into too many yet. So when it comes down to it, when I see a product that, like this, and like, for example, the ZS5, which the ZS5 was very clearly meant to look like the Campfire Andromeda, when I see a product that I think is based on another one. Of course, it does affect my opinion a little bit, but there are obviously trade-offs, specifically in regards to some of the issues I had with build as far as the ear clips were concerned, little things like that. This is a significantly better value, and I would recommend these over the iSine, mostly because the value is so intense. These are around $150, and for that, getting one of the only pair of open back planar in-ear headphones, as people say, instead of in-ear monitors, I think that's a hell of a deal. Now, they may not be for you, and if you might like the iSines more. I mean, who am I to say? But you guys came here for my opinion, and that's what it is. So guys, I hope you really liked this video. I also hope you stick around for the next one. I do have that M1060 modding video coming out soon. I did hit a couple of hiccups with it here and there. Maybe you might have broke something. Anyway, just expect some updates on that in the near future. But until then, guys, peace.